guess the question at this point is, why make work? Why keep doing it? Maybe a lot of us have that question. But for me, there's an urgency, there's a desperation in making the work that I feel like I have to. I'm compelled to make it. And I think this course, more so than any, I realized how important it is to be urgent in the making of it, not just in the inspiration. I work fast anyway. I always have worked pretty quickly. Some of my older work, you'll see, I am loose and fast and even sometimes a little aggressive. But that was always kind of tempered with the mixed media aspect. The mixed media that I work on is tedious and time consuming and elaborate. And I've been wondering for a while now if the payoff was there, if it was worth it, and if it made sense. And truthfully, the act of creating the mixed media aspects of my work is not appealing. I always kind of dread it. It seems overwhelming and boring and repetitive, and the payoff emotionally, spiritually was never really there. But it seemed like I don't know, sort of some kind of like intentional torture, some kind of like religious sacrifice or something. So I've kept it until now. The studies I've been working on this course, I'm thinking about groups of people. I'm thinking about different environments. I'm thinking about gesture and these moments where people just doing their regular thing seems timeless and ubiquitous, and just in that flicker of a moment, this whole reality of a person or of so many of us becomes apparent. And we can relate to it. And Sally Mann was wonderful at capturing that tension in these moments, especially in her series At 12, where you're looking at these young women, and they're at once young women and little girls, and this tension that she created with just the tiniest little bit of turn of the hip or gaze of the eyes or something cropped in the background. She was a masterful at capturing those moments where there was a duality of reality, and that it was the one sort of experience of this one person, but that image told a story that everyone or so many can relate to. So I've been thinking about that, working with different figures, and Alice Neal is another one who really beautifully articulates that a narrative with just a portrait. They're not, she doesn't create portraits to duplicate likeness. She creates portraits to duplicate a story or to tell a story, to kind of capture this sense of timelessness, existence in a space that could be any space, as a person that could be any person, but still distinctly individual, not erased or blurred, distinct but universal at the same time. And that, that's its own tension, really. So, what have I learned? I think with the last painting, this painting here behind me, I walked away from mixed media for my first big, sort of bigger, it's not huge, but bigger piece. It's the first bigger piece I've done in the program where I have not incorporated the mixed media, and I think I'm happy with that. I guess I don't really have a statement about where I've ended as much as I am excited to keep going. I'm looking forward to Studio 3 in the winter and working on some compositions I have stewing right now, where I'm still interested in light and the seated figure and the interior space for the time being, but letting go of the mixed media leaves a lot of room for considering other things, how to tell the story of transfer of knowledge, how to tell the story of memory that extends beyond the individual, how to create that duality, that sense of the person in this moment being not just their own individual experience, but an experience we all relate to. How do I make an intimate portrait of someone I know and love feel personal to everyone who sees it? How do I create an intimate moment with a stranger? I think there's a lot of room for exploration there, and I'm looking forward to it. So, thanks for viewing.